Hello friends, Mel Jeffcoat here, and today we're going to take a little break from looking at figure T of Ramon Lull's art, and we're going to answer a question that came in. Let's go over to that question. So this question is from Julianne Scher, who is a member of my forum and also a subscriber to my monthly newsletter, which I send out a print version, a print article having to do with Ramon Lull. And so she's been with me for the last 9 months as I've been studying and writing about this. And so this is the question that she has asked just a few days ago. She says, in your video released today, and that video is the one about the relationships between objects, you discuss how contrariety from Lull's figure T can disappear when you move up a sufficiently high level. Lull's figure A contains no contrariety, being as far up as possible. If I've got that part right, consider your personal North Star version of figure A. Is it the case that figure A should be designed so as to eliminate contrariety? Is that an aspect of the nature of any figure A? Now, when she talks about the North Star version of figure A, I talked about that a little bit in the video overview of Lull's figure A, in which I talked about how you could make your own figure A. And let's take a look. Here's figure A. This is Lull's version. But you could make your own by filling in all of the highest ideals that you personally hold, the things that you want to be your guiding star in life. And so Julianne's question is, can there be contrariety ever in figure A? Or is it always, does it always not have contrariety? My answer, I've thought about this for a couple of days, my answer is that it depends. There's sort of two ways that you could use figure A. Historically, over the centuries, when people took Lull's work and extended it and made it their own, they actually lost some of the nuance, a lot of the nuance of how he specifically used it. He uses it as figure A is the answer key, essentially, and figure T generates questions. A lot of people, and I'm thinking here specifically of Giordano Bruno in the Renaissance, who did a lot to repopularize Lull with his own version of it. He didn't keep that relationship between figure A and figure T. He didn't even have those figures at all. What he kept, and what a lot of people like to keep when they make their own versions of this system, I will show you here. This is a combinatorial wheel. We'll get into that in later videos, but it allows you to combine 3 different letters at once and analyze the concepts represented by those letters. And so just that idea of this combinatorial wheel is the part that most often got transplanted into new systems. If you are trying to make your own system and you make a figure A that is not your North Star, it's not your guiding, ideals in life. Maybe it's just a list of concepts that you want to remember and to be able to combine with the other figures. In that case, it wouldn't matter if there's contrariety built into those concepts. That any of those concepts could be contrary to each other because they just exist on figure A in this case as just a way to keep track of them, essentially, and be able to combine them with the other elements of the system. But on the other hand, if you are taking the challenge to actually produce a direct equivalent of what Lull had and have your guiding principles in figure A, then I think that it would be really counterproductive to have ideals that are contrary to each other. How would you choose which one to follow in any given moment? Your figure A would not lead you in a single direction. It would not be unified. Having contrariety in this kind of a figure A would lead to a divided will. You would be trying to go in 2 opposite directions or more opposite directions, and best case, you're not going to move at all. Worst case, you tear yourself apart or spend too much time going one direction, then another, and then another, and then you never make any progress anywhere. I think that if you are trying to preserve this particular relationship between figure A and figure T, where figure A is your answer key and figure T generates questions, then yeah, you don't want to have principles that are contrary to each other in figure A. But on the other hand, if you are simply using figure A just as a list of concepts that you want to be able to combine with the other parts, then I don't see any reason why you couldn't have contrary principles or ideas in there. That's all for tonight. Please, if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know and I will do my best to answer them. And until next time, keep exploring.